You are tuned in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, where we bring you double the information and information. And you're listening to Queendom Life Radio, and I am your girl, AV. And listen, family, stay tuned in to us each and every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. here on WDRB Media. Look us up on Facebook at Queendom Life Radio, on the web at www.queendomlifeuniversity.com, where we believe in taking ownership. That's ownership of who we are, where we've been, and where we're going. See, we are queens. We are like-minded queens, and we believe when queens show up, they should show up courageous but calm, fierce but feminine, bold but beautiful. Don't you know we are all about that queendom life? And today we have another queen here with us that's a part of the Queendom Diaries book anthology, Pages from the Diary of a Queen. Hello, Donna.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, I'm blessed and highly favored.
All right. I love it. So listen, tell the listeners how they can get in contact with you.
You can reach me on theworkplacewarrior.com, or that's the one thing I forgot to bring with me. Lord have mercy. I got the whole thing. Figueroa at ariteggovservices.com. .net.
Okay. Hello, Donna.
Hey, Angela. How you doing, girl?
I am good. Thank you for being on with us today.
Yes. This is wonderful. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So before we get started into the juicy stuff, tell us a little bit about you and how to get in contact with you.
Well, I am a consultant, an acquisition consultant to the federal government, and I have my own company called Ariteg Government Services, Inc., and we have contracts and we subcontracts to other prime vendors for professional services with the federal government. I am also the CEO of Workplace Warrior, where I assist people by preparing their resumes and get them polished enough to be able to get that federal position or get that government contractor position and help them with their interviewing. It's hard to get in.
I just hear intelligence and smart.
We do what we can.
Right, and that is phenomenal. So you are a co-author of the Queendom Diaries, Pages from a Diary of a Queen, and we have already talked to a lot of the authors, and we have heard some heart-compelling stories and victories and different things that they have to overcome and what the book has done for them. But I want to get to a little bit about where you are. How did the book impact your life in any way, writing the letters?
This was a very interesting project, and I'm thankful to be a part of it. There were so many things that had been locked away. We as a people, we don't do a lot of talking to the next generation to help them out. And I felt that these letters that I wrote would definitely help the young girls in my family and to help the young men understand why things that are generational, good or bad, continue to come up, because we don't discuss those things until we're at the repast, where we find out that this person is not really family, or this person, did some things in their past, and it flowed down through the bloodline, and they don't discuss it. So I was very happy to be a part of this, and it helped me release a lot of resentment and a lot of hurt that I had been carrying. And I'm in my 50s, and that's quite a long time to carry anything.
Yes, It is. It is. And I just love your transparency. And, you know, many people don't tell their age, and many people do have this saying, what goes on in the house stays in the house. And you mentioned sweeping stuff under the rug and things being generational. And one of the missions for writing these letters is to start a legacy of letters so that we can pass on to the next generation, in the hopes that it will stop some of the generational curses through the bloodline. And if I may say, I believe you are the oldest woman on the project.
Okay. I still look good. I still look good.
Yes, ma'am, you do. So, being with that said, how does that make you feel, being a part of something? And we have several generations. We have generations of women in their 40s, their 20s, their later 20s, and their 30s. What can you pass on or give wisdom to the next author in this anthology?
I would say not to hold back. I would say to use the vernacular or the type of writing of which is comfortable to you. Shoot straight from the hip. Don't worry about using pretty words, because the point will get across regardless of the generation.
Yes.
Even though I haven't had the privilege of reading the other ladies' letters, just based on conversations that I've been a part of, the struggles are all generations. The experiences are all generations, just a different place and time. And I'm just glad to hear that through writing these letters, that end result was the same, which was everyone was delivered and had a level of peace and was able to move on and close doors that had been tormenting them, so that they could be all they could be in Christ as they were created to be. The enemy lost 12 times in one book.
Yes, yes.
And I'm excited about that, because then it's going to be hundreds and thousands of other people who are going to get the victory, and then they will help someone else get delivered. They'll be more comfortable with speaking about the situation and with the transparency, and that in itself is going to crush the enemy's head.
Yes, because the way I'm looking at it is, a lot of people, true destiny is going to be launched through this book. A lot of people, purpose will be launched. Businesses, careers, speaking, authorship, coaching, all those different aspects are going to open up just from one chapter that you wrote in a book, that many women all across the world, the globe, will be touched by your story. And one day the authors began to pray that a book club will come, somebody that's going to form a book club around this book, around these diaries. That in itself is powerful, because now they get to discuss Donna's letters and learning how to apply what Donna went through in her life, in their life.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That God used you in that capacity. How does that make you feel?
That's another segue to be able to mentor and counsel women. Sometimes, like I said, we as a people, we're not transparent. So the caveat to that is we won't admit that we have an issue, so we won't admit that we need help. And it gets to the point where you're about to hit the curb until you are spiraling out to where you have to ask for help. I think forming the book club would be a submissive way or a passive-aggressive way to be able to have people realize what's going on, seek the help they need by asking the questions in the form of the book club and get their healing as a group.
Yes.
And then you can deal with them on an individual basis as needed. But this
yes.
is a wonderful vehicle to use.
Yes. What would you say to that person that's at that women's conference, that sees this book, that's at the bookstore, and they see the book, and they're thinking about buying the book? What would you tell them?
This is a multitude of blessing on pages under this cover. If you were considering it and you were on the fence, I would say stop the fencing and leap into the destiny. There's so many keys that are unlocking elements of your life and intricacies of your mission, and so many other types of purpose that the Lord has prepared you for, but the enemy has sidelined you because you are hurt and you're carrying it. That if you buy this book, this is definitely going to help you. And the Psalms in it, it's okay to pray out loud. It's okay to pray with your eyes open. As long as the Lord can hear you, it's okay to read and pray. So I know that these Psalms is definitely going to be able to put into words what your heart and your mind is feeling that you can't formulate yourself to come out your mouth. So if you don't use this for anything other than a devotional to help you in times when you can't tell nobody else what's in your secret closet, there's a prayer in this book for you.
Wow.
Get the book.
Right. Get the book. Get the book.
Get the book.
So I want to touch on this. We mentioned that you were the oldest woman on this anthology. What would you say to that woman that's over 50 that's still battling with some of the issues from her childhood, from her younger years, that she may be embarrassed or may just be stuck in and don't want to admit to? What would you say to her?
God's timing has nothing to do with our time and our numbers. It's never too late. As long as you have breath, it's never too late to get your deliverance and be free. Now, while I was writing these chapters, I had a writer's block. And I was having a real problem with that, because I don't have a problem talking too much, but when I actually have to write something down, knowing that the mission was important to help someone, I got, a few done, and then I got stuck. So while I was in the airport, I saw an older woman. She was older than me. She was friendly, but when she was looking at you, you could see her eyes were so deep that she had experienced so much. So I walked up to her and I introduced myself, explained to her the project that I was writing on, and if she was writing to her younger self, what would she say? And she gave me the information in like 5 minutes. I said, "Thank you so much for assisting me." She grabbed me and held me and started crying and said that she felt so much about just being able to tell me, because she hadn't told nobody. And she was in her 60s. I said a quick prayer for her, told her I would see her somewhere else soon, and she got on her plane and left.
Wow.
I can't even imagine for all that she went through and that heartbreak. She's the Chicago child. So she endured a lot of pain and suffering at an early age.
Wow.
But the Lord brought it all the way back around to where he fixed everything. And she's at a level of peace now, happy on the beach. But, it took me to actually step up, not to be afraid of anything, to step up and speak to her. And not knowing that was her appointed time to get a complete relief.
Yes.
She had been holding it. Even though she had found her level of self-love and she could lay on the beach and be happy with the beautiful things that the Lord had made, she was still holding it. So the fact that she released it to tell me was enough for her. She got a complete deliverance.
Wow. And that's what this book is about. You guys, if you're listening, and if you have not heard of this awesome book anthology, shame on you. This book is literally, I'm declaring that this book will literally shift the earth realm, and that the people of God will finally get the inner healing that they need. There's a child in each and every one of us that's crying to be heard, crying to be seen, crying to be accepted. And through this book, these 12 women thought it not robbery to share the most intimate parts of their diary. Listen, you're listening to Queendom Life Radio, and we are doing interviews with the authors of the book anthology, Pages from the Diary of a Queen. You're listening to Queendom Life Radio here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, where we bring you double the inspiration and motivation. Now, today we have a special young lady on Queendom Life Radio, and you can listen to us every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. right here on iHeart or TuneIn Radio. So let's jump right on in, Queens. Courtney, we have a special guest, Courtney. She's a part of a book anthology that we are doing with Queendom Diaries. Let's welcome this queen on today. Hello, Courtney.
Hey, Coach AB, how are you?
I am fabulous. Fabulous. Glad to have you on.
I'm so glad that you had me on tonight. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's jump right into this conversation. So you are a part of the book anthology. How does that make you feel? You're about to be a published author.
Oh, my goodness. This is actually a dream come true for me. I'm super excited. I'm super honored and blessed simply because I know what this book is going to do for others, because even in writing my letters, I have had so much of a revelation on what this book is going to do, not just for myself, but for everyone else that's going to see it. So to become a published author is one of my many prayers being answered. So I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, awesome. So just in the writing process, you have answered the call, and I'm honored to have you a part of this. And I'm going to get a little bit into about the vision that I had and all that, but I really want to hear from you the process of you writing this book. What did it do for you?
Oh, my God. Where do I even begin? If I can be honest with you, to hear it in the beginning, I was just like, oh, this is exciting. This is good. This is going to be very inspirational. It's going to be a healing point. But what I wasn't expecting, and just to be, very honest, is that I wasn't expecting for the past and the things that I had to dig up that I thought I was over, but I had to dig it up and actually confront it again, sitting there at my computer typing or sitting outside with my tablet writing. It brought up a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of unsettled disputes within myself. So it was very challenging in the beginning to write it out and to face it and to kind of put myself outside of myself, if that makes sense, and talk. How I would talk to my younger self back then, being the total, whole, complete woman that I am now. So having that experience, in the beginning, it was, it was exciting. Yes, I'm going to be a published author. I'm going to be a part of this team, a part of these queens. I'm so excited to read everybody else. But just to get through different letters and different issues and different topics that I had to overcome, when I thought I was dealing with them or I thought that I was healed or delivered from them, each time God was telling me, no, you're not. You still have a wound there. You still have, it's that flesh is still open. You're still bleeding out. So face it and deal with it, heal it and seal it so that we can be completely delivered from this, so that I can push you into the next phase of your life. So it was very challenging, but very rewarding at the same time.
Wow, wow, wow. That is so awesome, and you said so much. You just said so much that I'm going to dive into, so that those who pick up that book, they can really get to see what it will really do for you. And doing this book, my ministry was Queendom Diaries, giving my wisdom, my hardship, my heart, my pain, and just the tools that I learned to younger women and just women across abroad. So saying that, what do you want to tell to that reader that's going to pick up that book?
Well, the first thing I'm going to tell them is just when you get this book, this is not your ordinary tell-all book, or this is not your ordinary, oh, I'm just going to read a book, a self-help book. This is something that myself and I'm sure other queens that are involved in this went to the depth of their soul and poured it out, because they want you to realize that, for one, you're not alone. We've been there, we've done that. You know, some been through drug addiction, rape, molestation, you know, myself, you know, suicidal attempts and feeling insecure and dealing with heartache. This stuff is real, and you're not alone in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to be kind of that fairy godmother, that wisdom, or that guardian angel telling you that you're not in it by yourself. We've been there, we've done that, but look at us now. So if God did this for us, surely you are no different than who we are, what we were. He can deliver you from those things too. So when you read it, when they read the book, what I would want for them to do is to really just position themselves as if we were sitting right there in that room with them. There are moments where you're going to cry, we're right there. There are moments where you may laugh, we're right there. There are moments where you may think, oh my goodness, I can't believe we're right there guiding you through these things in this book. So it's not your ordinary self-help book or just a letter that we're telling you, but this is a process where you are going to be healed, because we're saying, hey, you're not alone. We've been there, done that, and God can deliver you from anything. Not something, but anything, all things.
Wow, wow. And I'm sitting here listening to you, and I hear your heart and your soul that you're speaking from. And I'm trying to hold back my tears, because a lot of people always say, oh, you've been through that, get over that, or you ain't over that by now and all that. It's just not that simple.
It is.
To be violated, to be humiliated, to be embarrassed, to be abused emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and just get over it. It's just not simple. And what I wanted to create with this book is letters that, if I were still that little girl with somebody, this would be a manual of us walking them out of that dark place.
Right.
Us giving them that hope and that light, so when they reach where we are now, they don't have to deal with it another 20 years, but they can get the help they need right now. Because I say this, if my 5-year-old self knew 35 years ago that I was going to be writing a book about her, she would have handled it different. If my 15-year-old self, angry and upset as she was, if she knew that all things does work out for her good, she would have had a different attitude about it. She wouldn't have tried to rest. So that's the atmosphere I wanted to create with this book, and I'm just so honored that you were a part of that. And just to give a little bit of a synopsis of a line or a phrase that you wrote in your letters, if you can give us that.
Just okay. Let me see. I believe I titled this one "Pain, Pills, and Purpose."
Yeah.
The beginning, it was, and this was just to give you a little background of this letter. This was when I discovered my purpose. When I was in that bed, and I was actually had a suicidal attempt, where it was pills in one hand and alcohol in the other. I didn't want to live. Not that I did not want to live, but I didn't want to deal with the pain of the issues that I was dealing with at that time. So myself now was talking to her, and she said, now you know that this is you're going to do this. And I'm just paraphrasing. You know you're going to do this. You're going to take these pills and you're going to take that alcohol behind it. But you know that how dare you try to take something that does not even belong to you. This life is not yours. This life belongs to God. So in the morning when that sun comes through that room and you are thinking that it's going to be dark cloud days, that's your God telling you to get up, rise, and walk, because the mission and the calling that he has on your life is not over. And I'm telling you, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to question God and you're going to say, why? Why do I have to get up? I don't understand this. I don't know how. And all he's telling you is to get up, take your bed, and you walk. How do I do that, God? One foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. Day by day. That's how you do it. And that's just, paraphrasing, but that's one of my letters that I wrote to myself when I was going through that dark, deep place in my life.
Wow, that is just such amazing, and you're such a courageous young woman, beautiful woman that know her purpose and everything that God placed in you. I commend you, woman of God. I commend you, your strength, your courage, your beauty, your tenacity. And there are a lot of women that need to read your letters. It's just phenomenal. If you're listening, you've been tuned in to Queendom Life Radio. You can reach out to us at Queendom Life Radio via Facebook, or you can follow the movement Queendom Diaries at hashtag Queendom Diaries. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts. And when the book is released soon, we'll have all those details. And you can contact us on www.queendomlifeuniversity.com or the Queendom Coach via Facebook, or the Queendom Coach AB, Queendom Life University on Facebook as well. We will have other books coming out: Queendom Diaries, The Diary of a Divorcee, The Diary of a Single Mother, just so many different things. And the book is coming out next. I don't want to give it away, but I really wanted to surprise you because it shifted my mindset, because oftentimes we have so many different things that people tell us, but they don't tell us what we need to hear that will shift our mindset. They don't tell us what we need to hear to bring that healing to that little girl. Courtney, if you were to give encouragement out of somebody, out of that woman that is listening right now, what would you tell her about the little girl on the inside of her?
First of all, what I would first of all tell her is that forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for holding on to this hurt, this past. Some of the things were in your control, some maybe they were not. It wasn't your fault. Forgive yourself for it. Stop carrying around this weight. Stop carrying around this hurt. It's too heavy. Cast all of your cares, all of your hurt, all of your pain, all of your suffering, all of your doubt, all of your fears. Give them to God. And in exchange, ask him to pour into you life, so that you can walk out the calling and the mandate that he has given you. Because, see, when you were created, God did not create you to be a ball of mess and a ball of sorrow and a ball of hurt and a ball of fear and pain. He did not create. He had a purpose for your life. And if you learn how to let go of that hurt and forgive yourself for it, forgive whoever hurt you, turn that over to him, I promise you he will pour a new life, a fresh anointing onto your life. And you will tell yourself, I would have never thought. And in the whole time, God was right there with you. And I promise you, better days are coming. They are coming. And as a matter of fact, they are here if you're listening. They are here because you're still alive. So just embrace that and just trust God with everything. And know that you have the power within you to shift your hurt to healing. You have the power in you to shift your pain to purpose. You have the power.
Awesome. Well, you have been tuning in to Queendom Life Radio. Thank you for listening. Join in to us each and every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time We will be back next week with another author. God bless you.